Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is going to be another little weekend at the cabin video. So I'm going to be doing some duck hunting and some trapping and some snaring and stuff. Just basically spend the weekend out in the woods. So yeah, it's Friday afternoon. It's about 3:30 p.m. or so. So I'm just kind of getting at the cabin now, getting straightened away. Got the fire lit. I decided to come over in this little cove here and throw my decoys out, because I've been seeing a lot of ducks around the cove near the cabin here the last few weeks. So yeah, anyways, I threw out 6 or 8 black duck decoys, and I was on the way back over to my shed to grab the rest of my decoys, and when I was coming back there were 3 black ducks trying to land in the decoys. So only had them out for less than 5 minutes and had some ducks come in, but unfortunately I wasn't ready. So anyways, I'm going to spend the last hour or so of daylight here just hanging out. I built a little blind here just over in the cove from the cabin. Got a little blind built here. I got the decoys out there. The sun is bright now, it's kind of hard to see, but just out here with the dogs now, and who knows, maybe we'll have some ducks come in on those decoys and we'll get a shot at a duck before dark. But if not, tomorrow I'm also going to be getting my snare line back out. So on my last video where I caught the 3 coyotes, I mentioned that I took all my snares up because I had a couple of busy weeks of work coming up. So yeah, I got those couple of weeks over with, and I'm going to be taking the dogs in the woods with me, and we're going to get those snares set back out. I brought down a fresh load of coyote bait. So we're going to set up some bait stations, set up some snares, and I'm also going to be putting out some rabbit snares to try to get a few meals of rabbits over the next few weeks here. So that's the plan. Like I said, not a whole lot to see here today, but if there's no action with the ducks, see you guys in the morning, and I'll take you guys along for the weekend. Hey Goosey, give me that stick. Alright guys, so Saturday morning, just coming on daylight. So I'm out in the duck blind this morning. Just going to spend an hour or so out here just after daylight, see if we can get any birds that come in on these decoys. So yeah, spend an hour or so here, and then I'm going to head over to the cabin, grab the dogs, and I'm going to go in on the trap line. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so we're over on a rabbit trail now. So I'm going to spend the next couple hours over here in the woods with the dogs and get my rabbit line set back up again. So I got a bunch of snares that I just have to, they're already tied onto the trees in the paths, so I just need to set them back up. But I'm going to be looking for a few new spots to set some new snares out as well. And just came to this spot here right at the beginning of the trail. So it's a nice little path here. Goes right through here. And up into here, looks like it's being used. It's fairly fresh, so got some buttons here on the ground. So yeah, I'm going to set a snare right here now. This looks like a good spot under this little fir tree here. All right, first snare in the morning. So we'll carry on down the trail. Come on, Goose. There you go, this way. Come on, here. Here. Goose, down here. So here's one that I already had set up earlier in the year. Haven't had any luck on this one yet, but it is a good spot. Usually get a couple on this snare every year. All right, so about 10 feet away from that last snare, I found this spot. A pile of fresh rabbit buttons here, and you can see where it's been going up through this brush here and right through there. So good spot to set another one. What do you want, Goose? You want your stick? You're supposed to be flushing out birds. You're supposed to be flushing out grouse by, not chasing sticks. So, got Goose and Millie out with me this morning now, setting up the rabbit line. So they'll get a good run in now this morning, then I'll take them back to the cabin here in the next couple hours, and then I'm gonna jump on the quad. I got my quad trailer about half full of moose bones and stuff for coyote bait. So I got 4 or 5 different spots where I'm gonna set up some bait stations for coyotes, and then I'm gonna set some coyote snares. So that's what we'll do this afternoon. Beautiful morning though. It's cold, but a nice sunny morning. So another good little path right here. Pretty sure I had a snare here last year. Seen quite a bit of fresh sign actually, which is good. Last time out I didn't really see much sign, but there's a ton of fresh rabbit buttons around on this trail here, so hopefully we'll have some success. All right, there's another set right there. Oh, just walking out the road, and something got this old moose femur left right in the middle of the road. Probably a coyote had it, then dropped it here on the road. Dogs are having to chew on it now. All right, come on, let's go. All right, so just walking out this woods road now, and just up ahead here we're gonna leave the woods road and cut out across the bog and pick up another trail. So I got another 5 or 6 rabbit snares out across that bog that I'm gonna set up, ones that I had out last time. So we'll reset those, and then basically that trail loops us right back out around towards the cabin again. So we'll do that and head back to the cabin. And like I said, this afternoon we'll be going out and setting up our coyote line again. All right, I got 3 snares here that I'm gonna set up. One's right in here, and on the other side of the trail, I got 2 more over here. So one in here and one just in through here. So yeah, we'll get those set up, and like I said, then hike back to the cabin, get some lunch, and go out on the coyote line. Alright, so back out to set some coyote snares now. So I'm in this spot where I got the double coyote catch here a couple weeks ago. And there's a bunch of fresh sign around again. All the bait that I set out last time is gone. So I just I dumped out a pile of fresh bait. And I also set up a trail camera. So hopefully we'll get some footage on that, see what animals are in the area. But yeah, I'm just gonna make my way down through the alders here and set up half dozen or so snares down where I caught the other two coyotes. Hopefully we'll get a couple more now coming in on that bait. All right, so I had 4 snares out here last time. Got 2 catches. If you watched the last video, you saw that. So yeah, I'm gonna set these same 4 snares back again in the same spot. I'm gonna put 2 new ones on the spot where I got the 2 catches, but I'll reuse the other 2. So I'm gonna have 4 snares right in this alder bed. I can see where the coyote's been dragging the bait down through the woods here. So yeah, this is the first one. I'm gonna set the other 3 now, and maybe we'll even look for a couple more spots to set a couple more just off to the side here. Here's the setup. So got 1 snare on the other side of this little stream here. This is where I caught one of the other 3 coyotes so far this year. So we got 1 right there. And as we make our way back towards the bait pile, got another snare right here. I reset this one, so this is another one where we got a catch a couple weeks ago. And then the 4th one is right out here, closer to the clearing where the bait is at. Got another set right here. Okay, so we're in another spot now, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna dump out a little bait pile, and then I got 3 or 4, actually I think 4 or 5 snares in this area, just out around the outer perimeter, like in the alders and stuff where the coyotes come in through to get at the bait. This is basically what I do to set out my coyote snares. So first of all, I use just some regular old tie wire. I don't know what the proper name on this stuff is, but you can find this pretty much at any hardware store. I use it at work for tying rebar and stuff. And you can also get it at like trapping supply stores and stuff. So I always have a roll of this on me, and I'll just cut off a piece maybe 3 feet long or so. And then I double it back over like this. So I like to double mine because this is what's going to hold the snare onto your anchor or your tree or whatever. So I like to double it up, makes it stronger. I just take one of my snares. Now, these snares, I'm just noticing because I bought these recently, so I'm just using them for the first time, these particular snares that I'm using here today. And they're real small, so I'm just noticing it now. But yeah, compared to the ones I set out earlier this year, these are quite a bit smaller on the diameter. So I'm not sure what's going on there. It's almost more the size of a fox snare in my opinion. So I don't know if at the store they got like put in the wrong spot, or it looks like the same diameter wire as they usually use for coyotes, but the loop that they got made on these is just a little bit smaller than I like it to be. But anyways, we're going to use them for now, and maybe next time I come out I'll be able to get some different ones, some bigger ones. What I do, I take my tie wire that I just cut off that big roll, I double it over like I said, and then on my loop here, so in the middle of the piece basically, these are the two ends right here, and here's the loop that's formed in the middle when you double it back over. So I just take that, I push it up through my loop on my snare like that, and then I pull my snare up through that loop on the tie wire, and that's what holds the snare to the tie wire. Okay, so here's my loop for my snare, and here's my tie wire connected on the loop of the snare. And then I'll tie my tie wire here off to the tree. All right, so this is actually the same little spot where I caught that cross fox in the last video. And I also had a coyote snare busted off just across the trail right here. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So with the snares being smaller, so this one here is one that I had set out earlier in the year. So I just set that one back up. But here's one of my new snares. And I'll just hold it up in comparison. You can see this is quite a bit smaller. It's a couple inches smaller on diameter than the older ones I was using. So yeah, a little smaller than I'd like, but I'm gonna use them for now, like I said, and I'll probably end up replacing them with some bigger ones when I get them. Okay, so like I showed you guys a minute ago, here's my snare, here's my tie wire over on this side right here. So I'll just take it, basically find out where I want my snare to hang in the path, and then I'm just gonna go around this tree now. This tree right here is gonna be my anchor tree. So my tie wire is gonna go around that one. Something like that, and then I just tie it off nice and tight to the tree, wrap it around and around as many times as you can, and then you just basically set your loop up the height that you want it. There it is. Well, I'm starting to lose daylight. Days are short now, getting into the end of November. So yeah, I still got a bunch of spots I want to hit, so I'm not going to film anymore. It's basically the same thing over and over. Just going to dump out my bait and set up a bunch of snares around the perimeter. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I'll check back in here in a little bit when we do the first check on these snares, and hopefully we'll have something to show. Okay. Well, we're back on the trail. So Sunday morning, I gotta head back to town today. It's back to work tomorrow for a couple days, so I'm gonna check everything today, all the sets we put out yesterday. Now, ideally, this time of year, I like to wait a couple of days in between checks, especially well, the weather is down around freezing now, and it gets down well below freezing overnight. So it's no trouble to leave snares for 2-3 days at a time, which is what I normally do. But because I got to head back to town today for a few days, I'm going to check everything today. And not really expecting much, because it's only literally been 24 hours since I put these sets out. Less than 24 hours on the Coyote snare. So not expecting much, but you never know. So yeah, after today, I'm gonna wait like probably 3 days, maybe middle of next week. I'll get time to come down and check everything again. So expect a little more action on that check. But yeah, I'll take the camera along this morning and see what we can come up with. Here, dogs, come on, let's go. Good dogs, yes. All right, guys, we got a rabbit here, and the snare is still alive. Billy, leave it. Ah, okay, bud. I got you. Millie, leave it. All right, guys, I'm going to spare you the gory details here. Just gonna put this guy out of his misery, and we'll have a better look at him. Well, here he is. So good and white now. The last ones I got there a couple weeks ago were completely brown, but this guy is almost all white, other than his head here. Still got quite a bit of brown on it. Decent sized rabbit, not a huge one, but he's bigger than the last few I got on my last video. Beautiful looking rabbit. It's never fun catching a live animal in a trap or a snare, but you know, that's a part of it you never really enjoy, or you never really get used to, but it's all part of the process. So this guy will be food for me, so that's what it's all about when it comes to rabbit snaring. So yeah, I'm sure you guys who eat wild game and who hunt or trap or whatever, you guys understand. And for those of you who don't, well, I guess that's a discussion for a different day. But yeah, happy to have this guy. Beautiful rabbit. So this was actually one of the snares that I caught a rabbit in on my last check too. So this has been a really good spot for me over years. Usually get several rabbits in this same path every year. So anyways, I'm gonna set this snare back, set a new snare back in that spot, I should say, and then we'll carry on. Coming up on the last 3 or 4 rabbit snares here now, so never had any other ones hit or anything. So I'm gonna check these last couple. Goose flushed a grouse just back there before he got on this bog, and he was gone for like 5 minutes. I guess he chased it down through the woods. So anyways, eventually he came back. Never did see the grouse after. I just heard it fly away. But yeah, I'll check these last couple rabbit snares, and if nothing knows, I'll check back when we go out on the coyote line. It doesn't look like this bait side's been hit, so like I said earlier, I like to give it a few days after I set out some fresh bait or set up a new site, just to kind of leave my scent out of the area and stuff. But I am going to check these today. Like I said, I'm heading back to town, so but after today I'll give it a few days before I come back in this area. So well, nothing in the first one. Nothing there. Oh, one there. There's a third snare out of 4. Nothing. And I got one more across the little stream where we caught a coyote last time, but nothing in that one either. Oh, there's a grouse back there. The grouse just on the other side of my snare. Well, the grouse, big old rough grouse, he ran after the trees there. I didn't have the magazine in my gun, so by the time I got that out of my pocket, he was gone. I had a quick look for that grouse. He never did fly away, he just kind of ran down through the brush, so I'm gonna leave him alone. I had a quick look for him, but starting to get tight on time now, so gotta get the rest of these coyote snares checked and call it a weekend, unfortunately. This is the last little spot to check now. Haven't been filming much because there really hasn't been anything to see. So yeah, none of the bait looks like it was hit overnight. None of the bait that I put out yesterday. Other than a few gray jays and a few crows I drove off the bait when I was driving up to it here. So yeah, this is the last spot. I just checked my, I had 3 or 4 snares here. I checked down through the woods here, nothing in any of those. So I guess that's gonna do it for this one. So hopefully we'll have a little more action on the coyote snares on the next check. So yeah, I guess that's gonna do it for this one, guys. So don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff. It all helps out. I'm gonna keep the channel growing. So, hope everyone's doing good. We'll see you next time.